Welcome to Raising Graceful Children. I'm your host, Brett Glover. When I was 12 years of age, I had a good mate. His name was Pineapple. Pineapple. Strange name, you might say? Yes, a very strange name. You see, he got that nickname from being in the fishing club. His last name's Appel, and he had this ginger crop of hair. And everyone says you're more like a pineapple than an apple. And that nickname stuck. So here, Pineapple got his nickname. Now, me and Pineapple were away on an adventure. See, we used to be a bit like a Huck Fin types. We used to love going fishing, exploring nature, just really enjoying ourselves. And this particular time, we went away to a place called Hat Head on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. And me and Pineapple were with my father and a few other guys, and they were sort of busy with themselves, and it was late one night. And we decided that we wanted to do something. So I actually glanced across and saw my father's net. I looked at it. I knew I wasn't meant to touch it. I thought, I'm going to borrow that net. I wasn't supposed to. So we grabbed the net, me and Pineapple grabbed the torch and started walking down to the river. Now the net's in a big tub, about this big. And one of us on one side, one on the other. And we walked through the caravan park down to the river, to the river's edge. And we got down to the river and we looked at each other. We knew one of us had to go in the deep end. Now, I didn't want to go. No way. Neither did Pineapple. We drew lots. I lost. You should have seen Pineapple's face. He was like a Pentecostal at a Benny Hinn meeting, jumping up and down, punching the air, that he won and I lost, not to go out in the deep water, in the cold. And I wasn't that impressed about it. Standing out in the water for about half an hour in freezing cold water was not something I thought about beforehand. It seemed like a good idea when I picked up the net, but I didn't think that I would be out in the deep end. Anyhow, I made my way through the water. Put my toe in, it was freezing. Got up to my knees, it was just as cold. Got up to my groin, and then I knew it was spanner water. It tightened the nuts. It was really cold, and I made my way out to my chest height, and I'm only 12 years of age, and the water's about where that blue line is on my shirt. And I'm in the water, and I'm holding the net out, and the tide's running down, and hopefully the fish are running down into the net. And I'm sitting out there, and I'm thinking, it's okay. If we don't get caught, we can have a bit of fun here. This is great. And next thing I know, on this deserted river, I see this torch and a boat up the river. I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to get caught. What do I do here? And I think, okay, think fast, Brett, think. I know what I'll do. I'll duck under the water, hold my breath, and the boat will go straight past and I won't have to worry. Just disappear. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do that. So what I did, I held myself, I listened, and it got closer and closer, and I watched the torch flash across the water, and I could hear the voices in the boat. It sounded like a father and son, you know, like a young voice and an older voice. The man down the back, I think, was paddling a canoe, and the son was obviously at the front with the torch, spotting through the water. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And they get closer, so I duck down under the water and I hold my breath. And this light's flashing across the top of the water, and all of a sudden, all the water around me starts to light up. And I'm thinking, I've been caught here. He's hit me with this torch. And the boy says, Dad, there's a big log over here. He was probably right the first time, a big log, looking straight down. But then he flashed the light back across, and he said, no, Dad, it's not a log, it's a dead body. And the father goes, a what? The son said, it's a dead body. Turn out the light. Turn out the light. Let's get out of here. The father grabbed the paddle, took off down the river, and paddled as fast as he could into the darkness. The lights were off, and they shot through into the darkness. You know, the Bible says that Jesus was the light of the world. He's our light, and we're told that we can find our way with the light of Jesus, and he maps the way. Like the guys were going down the river with their torch, they could find the way down the river. we're told in the Bible that we find our way to God and to eternity with the light of Christ. And you know, sometimes when we're faced with these big issues of life, with death and the big things in life, do we turn our torch on or do we turn it off? That's what I'm asking you today. What do we do? Do we turn our torch on or do we turn our torch off? When faced with death, do you say to your children, Jesus is the way, the truth and the life, the resurrection and the life, that we don't have to fear death? Or do we turn that torch off and shut our mouths and start paddling off into the darkness? You know, Jesus told us a little story, and it goes something like this. In Matthew 25, he talks about the 10 virgins. They were betrothed to be married, and the little parable goes like this, that there was 5 wise virgins and 5 foolish virgins. Now in that day, a virgin was betrothed to be married, and a contract was made up, and they had to wait for the husband to come. So here we have it, is we've got the 10 virgins waiting for the bridegroom. Now the bridegroom is obviously Jesus in this story, talking about how God's going to come back for his church, his people. And he's talking about this way about how there's going to be, in the last days, there's going to be 5 wise virgins and 5 foolish virgins. There's going to be 2 groups in the church. Now the symbolism that he gives them that they all have torches, or they all have lanterns with oil in it, and they burn. And it's an important thing for the story that their torches are lit, so that when the bridegroom comes back, he sees that their torches are lit. He obviously sees their beautiful face and said, "You're worthwhile marrying, I'll take you." So these bridesmaids, so to speak, potential brides, are waiting for their bridegroom. Now there was 5 that had their lights on, and there's 5 that had their lights off when the groom came. They disappeared to try to get some more oil to light up their light. And that's how it is today. And the challenge today in raising graceful children is, do we turn our light on or do we turn it off? Do we turn the light of Jesus on to our children? This is our mission, should we choose to accept it. Do we turn the light of Jesus on, or do we turn it off with our kids? Do we talk about Jesus' stories to our kids? Do we tell them what Jesus did and how important he was and how significant? Do we tell Jesus' stories to our kids, the light of Jesus, or do we turn it off, not talk about it? Let's not talk about the gospel stories. Let's not talk about what Jesus did. Let's not talk about the light. We have a choice. We have a clear choice. Do we turn the light of Christ on, or do we turn it off? Thank you for watching Raising Graceful Children, and thank you for being with us.